The skilled craftsman arrived, spending 40 days, and the heavy forklift finally completed its production. With superb hands, all accessories are made of real steel and iron. The perfect body ratio is matched with a complex hydraulic control system. How much fork force can it have? Settle in and watch it all at once to truly enjoy. Get the tires and drive shaft ready, set the basic positions. In the first step, start by constructing the structure of the forklift chassis. It's a professional operation, please do not imitate easily. Overall, still using galvanized square tubes for welding. Attention, a wave of welding is coming ahead. La 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 la. And then him. This is the basic chassis frame. Next is the design for securing the connection between the drive axle and the chassis. Weld the connecting pieces using bolts to establish a tight connection with the chassis. This is the hub structure that connects the double row tires, and this quality is absolutely comparable to that of the built-up. Then it is necessary to ream the hub to modify the size that matches the hub disc, and this is the specific operation. This is the basic installation structure of the front wheels. Next is the design and fabrication of the rear steering axle frame. This is the structure of the steering joint welded with bolts. Next, continue cutting and welding galvanized square pipes to form the axle frame. Pay attention to the operation of the great guy. Next is the design and installation of connecting the steering joints with a lateral tie rod, cutting a certain length of stainless steel round bar, polishing earpiece structures at both ends, and punching holes for a perfect connection. Isn't this design pretty impressive? Next, install the hydraulic rod to achieve steering adjustment of the wheels. This is the structure of the entire rear steering axle bracket, which can then be welded to the main frame. Here, a connecting structure that interfaces with the axle bracket and hinge mechanism needs to be designed. After final welding slag polishing, this is the structure of the forklift chassis frame. The next step is the design and installation of the motor using a high torque DC reduction motor to provide powerful propulsion for the entire forklift. Using round tubes and shims to create the drive shaft from the motor to the transmission bridge. Never buy what you can make by hand. The chassis frame alone is made so exquisitely, showcasing remarkable craftsmanship. The next step is the fabrication of the entire fork structure. These are bent U-shaped steel parts used to create a strong and indestructible inner and outer door frame structure. Each U-shaped frame is welded with angle irons to create a mutually coordinated slot structure. Next, bearings need to be installed to achieve smooth up and down movement of the door frame. That's the specific design. Continue to cut out the horizontal connecting plates used to connect the door frame. It may seem complicated, but it's actually not simple at all. So have you seen it all? This is the basic motion state between the inner and outer door frames. Next, weld the upper end crossbeam. Isn't it perfect? The next operation is impressive. Watch how the expert demonstrates the creation of a unified U-shaped curved part. Weld here onto the outer door frame for structural stability. Here's the production method of the integral square structure. Pay attention to arc welding. Weld the fixed pins on both sides to install bearings. This is the slider structure connecting the fork. Next is the welding of the fork baffle frame. This is the basic movement condition between various components. prepare the chains and sprockets for the next step, to install the lifting chains on both sides. Every pin is so exquisite and perfect, and the control of this detail is really amazing. Look, what bolts on both ends of the chain for a more perfect connection and installation. Check the operation of vertical movement again, ensuring a perfectly smooth movement. Then prepare thicker steel plates to weld the structures of the two forks. Weld a grooved structure at the upper end that perfectly matches the grooves of the baffle. In this way, a high-grade fork structure is completed, looking quite realistic. Then there is the installation of the hydraulic rod, which is mainly responsible for lifting up. Despite the smooth installation work in front of you, it's actually the result of meticulous and time-consuming design. If you think the craftsmanship is awesome, give it a like. This is the hydraulic diverter valve, which controls the flow and on-off distribution to supply oil to the hydraulic rod, enabling the movement of the hydraulic rod. Then install a servo on each distribution valve for remote control operation. Pay attention to the installation details from the master. Doesn't it look quite advanced? This is the main component of the entire hydraulic control system, full of technological sophistication. Next is the production of the tail counterweight. The steel plate structure used for cutting is simply high quality. An upper reserved slot is left for storing batteries. Let's start the power on oil pump test. This way, the entire forklift structure can achieve movements at different angles. Isn't it amazing? A wonderful 10-minute video interpretation. This is the complete process of building the entire heavy-duty forklift. Now let's show the finished product. Ensure demonstration under a safe environment. Do not imitate easily. The fitting force is quite strong. The whole production can be described in one word: superb. Perfect proportions and the use of genuine materials, this can be regarded as a perfect piece of art. After watching, what do you think? Come to the comment section for